Hey, good evening, Bobcat Nation. Welcome to our Tuesday edition of the Bobcat Blitz, where we are proudly debuting the new and improved Northport High School weight room, weight facilities. I'm Sean Kirkpatrick. I'm here live with Coach Babbitt. We're also going to have previews of both our girls' weightlifting results and our boys' weightlifting season. As always, John Rawlings, our host. Unfortunately, he's going to be the cameraman.
I'm the mobile cameraman today.
We want to show you. It's actually John's idea. He wants to show you the whole facility. It is absolutely beautiful. It's both our first time in here since the.
So I'm going to kind of slide around a little bit.
We'll talk a little bit.
But go ahead. Keep talking there a little bit.
So, guys, I know we've been on the show talking quite a bit about the winter sports. For those who haven't paid attention, 3 regional teams. We had numerous district, regional, state girls weightlifter. We've got still the girls and boys wrestling still doing district regional. They don't want to stop. I used to look forward to February being my time to just kind of cool it and get ready for the next sport, and it hasn't stopped all season long. But we do have to say goodbye to some of our winter sports. It's time to clear the deck so we can say hello to our spring sports. And with that, we're going to do a little series here. We're going to start with boys basketball this week, and we'll start saying goodbye to the soccer teams as well. Because, Coach Babbitt, you did so good. It's almost March, and you're still on camera with us. Zach, gotta shake your hand. Come on, regional, quarterfinal, fantastic. What did you think about as a coaching staff? Just getting to a regional level.
Yeah, we set out a couple goals when the season started. You know, we obviously you want to be in the district championship, all that good stuff. But we wanted to make the district championship. That was one of the goals. 16 to 17 wins, and at least we wanted to host a regional game. That didn't happen, but we got a better seed than we thought, and we just unfortunately came up short. So,
well, you talk about that, Zach. This district where, in fact, this whole area in the Gulf is just brutal. This is not an easy district. You had some tough ones there, Riverview, Sarasota, and all that. The district tournament, we did get to host. Forgot which one we did. We host?
No, we didn't host any.
So
we finished the 3rd seed.
So you had almost an all-senior starting team. How did the seniors live up to your expectations before you even began the season versus the end of the season? Did you see?
I mean, I think they kind of knew it was kind of do or die for them, you know, with being their last year. So obviously, you know, they were a little more upset when we lost in the district championship because obviously, you know, they wanted to win. You know, we wanted to win for them, and they wanted to win for us. And it's something, you know, they've been working for. They've heard about the past teams and how they got in there, but they never really got there. And then, you know, we kind of didn't. I mean, we lost by quite a bit, but we didn't really play that well in the district championship. You know, so it was not disappointing, but I wish we would have played better for at least the seniors.
And there's something you saw on the schedule. I think we talked about this earlier. How at home you guys were just. Were we undefeated? Or
yeah, we actually finished. Oh, that was one of our goals too.
Yeah.
To finish the season undefeated at home, which we did. So
protect the cage. That's right. You went undefeated.
So that was definitely great to see for them. And you know, I wish we would have been able to host a game, but you know, it is what it is, and it's how the.
And you also, Coach, you had 2 really big wins. For those who don't know, Bradenton Christian and Sarasota,
who ended up beating us in the district championship.
Both those teams were at the time when we played them, were they ranked top 20 or 25?
Sarasota was still ranked top 20 in the state. They actually lost the other night to Riverview, who we beat in the semifinals. So that just shows how tough our district was.
But that's got to be a great selling point for your next generation. Your next class next year, we beat Bradenton Christian and Sarasota. So, you know, yeah, you had your losses here and there, but you had a great time. We went to Wally Keller tournament. Where else did you guys go?
Key West.
We went to Key West.
Where else? Bradenton Christian tournament.
Bradenton Christian tournament.
Yeah, we did a lot of.
Was there an MLK tournament? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, MLK at Booker. So I mean, the kids had a good time. I think, you know, a big thing that the kids will remember is being in the vans, bus rides. Obviously, Key West. A lot of them, you know, they lived for that trip. So that was good to see. So.
And the word's going to spread to the underclassmen. Stick around. You can.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know if we're going back. So
to where?
Key West.
I was told it's going to be a double meet. It's going to be a marathon, high school, and Key West.
Yeah, we tried. Well, we tried to get marathon this year, but
I'm hearing that's on the book. So let's talk about next year's team. We say goodbye. We got to say goodbye to our varsity team this year. What you seeing coming up? I know we have a freshman on the team this year, Tori.
So he'll
played great minutes. I thought his energy was unbelievable. That kid is just flying everywhere.
I mean, Tori had a good year. You know, he was a little up and down. Yeah, so freshman, you know. Varsity, it's a big learning curve coming from middle school to high school. So it's a big learning curve, but we'll definitely lean on him a lot next year. And as for the rest of the kids, you know, I would say a lot of inexperience, but, you know,
Well, I saw a couple of JV games later on when I was there, and there's some pretty good talent on that team. You got one or two that you're
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some kids that can play, but it's a big adjustment. The game, I think, speeds up a lot more going from
Right.
JV to varsity. So, and just, a lot of these kids just need to play. They just need to keep playing, keep playing.
And will you have the usual summer?
Yeah,
vacation
we are
camp?
going to do summer workouts. I don't think we'll travel as much. I think because we went to Daytona Beach last year and some other college camps, but I think we're going to try to stay a little local this year just because there's no sense in us traveling so far with all the inexperience we have. But I think we're still going to do Florida Gulf Coast team camp.
Oh, good.
And some, I think that'll be the big one we do, and then we'll do some local like shootouts and stuff here in the area. So
And for those who don't know, Florida Gulf Coast, they are quite the athletic sun power, both the men's and the women's team. We'll talk later on with the women's with Monty Jefferson down there, but both those teams have a good chance of going far in their tournaments, if not even getting to March Madness. So it's a great tournament to go down to camp for your summertime.
I think FGCU beat FAU this year.
That's right. There's a big game there. It's like, and FAU is of course the ranked team. So yeah, we got a great pocket of basketball. Wally Keller, hopefully next year. Do you think?
Yeah.
We're
I think all area teams usually play in that, so we'll be in it. As for our matchup, that's to come. But
Good. A couple of years back, we had a 1 year we did it. Coach Tillman helped out with us. They had a 4-game Martin Luther King Day here on campus. We had JV girls, JV boys, varsity girls, varsity boys. I'd love to see that come back next year.
Yeah, I know. I think
we're
eventually going to try to get something here. It's been
you know,
a while since that's been done, so I think
that was great. That BJ, we beat Port Charlotte 3-1 in terms of series. I remember that. I think we lost the first game, won all three, and that really stuck them a little bit there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, well, Coach, what do you think in terms of coaching staff? You gonna keep the same staff? You got any people coming in to help out? Any little cameo surprises?
We'll see what happens. It's a revolving door sometimes, so we'll see what happens. And
what do you think about this new weight room for your players over the summer?
Looks good. A lot of them need to get in here and just need to lift, get stronger. I think that's one of the things that our team maybe lacked this year is strength. Eli was very, very, very good, but he could have been very, very much more good if he had lifted. And that goes for all the kids now.
Right, yeah.
So did the closing of the gym or the weight room itself, did that hurt the
No, we don't
athletes
really do too much lifting during seasons just because wear and tear of the season. We try to do like stretching stuff, extra stretching, stuff like that, just so. But as far as lifting, it's kind of more like maintenance and during the season.
Now with basketball, isn't it true that you don't want to mess with the touch too much either? And if you're in here powerlifting and doing all kinds of things, you kind of mess with your shot.
Yeah, they're all
7 days a
they
week.
can't.
And then go and try and shoot, it's just not going to be the same. Different power, different if you're sore. So we'll lift probably before practice this summer and then go in there. That way, they're.
So where do you see the value of the weight room for future athletes at the high school?
I would say to anyone who can come in, it's big, big, big. You think in middle school it doesn't matter. Freshman year, I didn't think it mattered, but sophomore, junior, by your senior year, I mean, if you're getting bullied by a freshman, I think it's.
Yeah.
And you'll look back and say, yeah, probably should have took that.
Should have worked it out a little bit more.
Coach, I understand because they see the TV, they see the college kids, they got those big brown Dell toys, and they got all that stuff there. So I don't know why they would not want to work out as a freshman.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to get on there. Maybe it's nutrition, falling asleep, who knows? Yeah. So you have the weight room here. You've got your regular camps. Do you have anybody doing any kind of special training sessions, like one-on-one?
We do have that little youth league that Teddy had started. So that's going to be a lot. We have a lot of our players coaching.
Good.
I'm coaching. Teddy's coaching. So I think that's good for the community.
Is that the one that started in February?
Yeah, I think the practice starts this week. So
good.
We're in a big.
Are you still going to be doing part of the summer thing you did last year?
We'll do our summer camp. I don't know if we'll do another league just because we have this one going on.
Good.
I think, we asked a lot of the guys during the summer to come in on their month off and coach. They weren't too happy with us.
Well, now you have underclassmen. You kind of boss around a little bit more because they're sophomores and
we even
juniors.
have some of the kids that are going to be on varsity next year doing the league. So I think it's good that they want to be involved. And I think it's big for kids coming up that also need to be involved. So.
Well, Zach, I feel like this season was a great success. I really enjoyed. It's great as an announcer to never have to call a loss. That's a nice feeling. To say that. So selfishly, I enjoyed that. I wish the road production was a bit more consistent, but I think next year you got a great foundation coming up. You had a great JV season as well. Like I said, I saw some of them. So anything you want to say to perspectives?
Yeah.
You got any Charlotte kids you want to poach over here? You want to say, come on over here, look at this weight room? We got it all going.
I think you like touch on you said we had a good year, and we trust those guys that nothing to hang your head on. This team will be remembered as one of the better teams at Northport just for what they've accomplished.
Right.
So we told them that nothing to hang your head on. We came up short, but we did succeed some of our goals. Obviously, the main goal was not accomplished, but
Oh,
sometimes that's just the way.
just tell them next time. If they do the math, regional quarterfinals is like the round of 32 in March Madness. So just getting there is like March Madness.
The game we just lost, it's a very winnable game for us, and it was a close game with under a minute left, and we just couldn't get it done.
Well, John, I hear disappointment. I'm excited. Anytime our team gets to regionals, I am just like, man, just to get out of your district's amazing. So you really gotta hammer that home on the fans out there who's listening.
I think they are reclassing next year, but I'm pretty sure we're staying the same, right, Tony? Pretty much for the most part.
Doing.
They're redoing the district.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We won't move or go up or down. I think everyone's staying. So
Gotcha.
we'll be back with the same teams next year.
All right, John, you want to say goodbye?
Well, really, you said something about disappointment. There is a level of disappointment with it because the effort is there.
Right.
And you saw the effort. As a coach, it's allowed to be disappointed but excited about the future too. So can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, I think it's not more of a disappointment from like a coaching standpoint. I think it's more disappointment that I feel sorry for the kids that are moving on in life. I've been with some of these kids since they were freshmen. Jackson I've coached since he was in 7th grade.
Wow.
So, seeing those kids upset that they didn't achieve their goals, I don't know, it's disappointing, but it's also motivating as a coach. And, we try to tell them, like all these kids, like they're all going to go do great things in life. They got a good head on their shoulders. Obviously, we're part of basketball program, football, some weightlifting, some are out there running track right now. So, as long as they apply themselves in life, they'll be successful.
It's part of the changing of the culture too.
Right.
Forgot to mention this, John. I forgot to mention we got Omar got a college scholarship for football. Eli, no doubt, is going to get something somewhere.
Yep.
Jackson's going to do academic, I'm sure.
Jackson just got accepted in FSU. So
I mean, there's a pretty high level. I'm forgetting other players, but I mean, there's a pretty high success rate in that culture right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Eli, he's going to do a couple camps and a couple other things. And, he has a lot of schools that are interested in him.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's more so just wait until late March and he'll get a couple offers.
And one more thing before I let you go, Coach. Watching our Facebook page throughout this semester, and I can't remember the last time I've seen so many Northport High School athletes part of the Players of the Week or Charlotte Prep, Sun Preps, this and that. That's the one way to look at it too. Like, there's a lot of accolades that were given to you guys. So if you add them all up, it's one of our most recognized teams.
Yeah, I mean, when we opened the show, the winter sports went absolutely insane this year. So I think that's awesome. It's cool. I do want to touch on one thing. I thought it was great how everyone came to Sarasota that night for the district championship. That was awesome.
Well, you need fans?
Yeah, we had a whole side of this stands filled.
Really?
So that was great to see.
Good job.
So, I was not expecting. I was expecting some people, but we had the football team, baseball team. Coach Miller showed up. Coach Fu showed up. So it was good to see for everyone.
So now we need to get basketball to show up to the games, other games as well.
Yeah, we're trying. Those kids sometimes are a struggle, but some are running track, some are just being lazy.
And speaking of track, I'm guessing you're not done with Northport High School athletics just yet. You got the high jump again this year?
No, I just accepted a job, so I really don't have time for it anymore. But
so you're listening to your wife or fiance, whereas my wife it bounces right off me.
Yeah, so.
Well, Zach, it's great to see you again. Thank you for coming out on our wrap-up show. I can't wait till October. I believe that's when we saw you. So thank you. All right.
I'll be around.
That's
awesome.
Assistant Coach Zach Babbitt with our preview.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Goodbye to our boys' successful regional team there. All right, we're going to set up here for our next round here. But while we're doing so, guys, we got another schedule. I didn't put up my schedule for Facebook. This year. I do apologize this week. Boys baseball has 2 away games. They won last night at DeSoto pretty convincingly. I want to thank Coach Matt Mitchell for getting that game online. You can catch that on Bobcat Sports Network. That's on YouTube. So I want to thank you all for setting that up for us. I was able to catch that. And they also have a nice scoreboard going on, and you can actually advertise as well. So we got that. They have an away game tonight as well. Friday this week is a big day for Northport High School. We start off at 3:30 out in the track. We have the Bobcat Relays, one of my favorite events. It's a really neat format. They do a little bit different kind of format with the relay systems. That's a great. And then 7 o'clock, boys baseball home regular season debut will be here as well. I'm actually going to do both announcing. I'm going to do first half with the track and field, then I'm going to steal away and do the baseball. So we got going on. But I do want to announce something real quick. This weekend, wrestling is doing regionals, I believe, for the ladies and or no, the boys as well. And Monday the 26th, we need your help, guys. Monday the 26th, softball is going to have their home debut. It's called Community Night. They're going to have the city of Northport. They're going to have fire department and I believe police department. They're going to bring some of their equipment out here as well. And I think they're going to have the Little League kids in there. So, all right. Coach Miller, I'm going to have you come on in here if you could. Introduce these young ladies here for us. Let's see. Don't think, Coach. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead, because I'm gonna have to go outside and clerk.
He's got to go do track.
We got
Coach Miller here. Go ahead.
Kaylee Kennedy, Lily Estes, and Haley Graffin. So
Hey.
there are three of our girls, senior, junior, and sophomore. Have been a part of our weightlifting program here for.
And Coach, you're one of the coaches for the girls with
Yes, sir. I'm
So.
assistant coach.
So yeah, so these are our fine young ladies who went to, we had state level, regional districts, you name it. We'll start off with the seniors. Senior, we got you. All right. So I know I'm sorry. So what competition did you get into? What you don't say weight class, but like when did you start getting into weightlifting with Little High?
Got into weightlifting my freshman year
Oh, good.
and still going.
Excellent. Did you do Olympic or traditional? I know there's different things, aren't there?
When I first started, we only had traditional, so it was only bench and clean and jerk. And then my
Okay.
sophomore year, we added in snatch and then
Oh, okay.
went on.
Which one did you do?
I'm better with Olympic,
Yeah.
but this past one, I was better on traditional.
Oh my goodness. Was it scary the first time you did that snatch?
Oh my goodness.
It's scary to watch on TV. My nephew does it, and he's terrible at it. He's taller than me, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna blow your back out. That's like, so did you go to state last year, or is this your
Yes.
first? Oh wow,
I went, this is my third year going.
wow, 3 years in a row, state.
Yeah.
Wow. Did I hate to ask? You get better each year because you get stronger?
Yeah.
Good. So what did you see differently at the state level than say just a regular home meet here?
You see a lot of better people there. We walk in and it's a lot more competition. Like usually at tiny meets, you're like one of the big dogs, and then you walk in there and you're like, oh my god, I lift so much weight.
Well, I'm going to ask everybody else here, but you have been long enough here. You were here for the old days here in the gym. Now you're seeing this. What's your overall impression?
Wow.
As an individual, as a team, what
Wow,
you thinking?
it's a lot nicer.
A little different, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more spacious in here.
Yeah. So when did you start lifting? Let's go back in time a little bit. When's the season start up for you guys, for you ladies? Anybody can chime in on that. When you all start doing your preseasons and?
Oh, I do it all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of do. Just try to keep it up.
Yeah. Always in here on your own gyms or?
Mainly in here, sometimes other places.
Yeah.
Sometimes at home, just whenever you can.
So when season kicks in, are you after school, before school? Do you both lifting? What's your?
During school,
Oh, during school. Okay.
we have a class period, and then if we
Good.
aren't done working out, we'll extend to after school too.
Gotcha. So if you were to say someone who wants to join the weightlifting team, basically you can do ACE classes and
Yeah.
still do this. It's not going to be all night long
Yeah.
lifting and fighting to get in here when other sports are in here.
Eighth period weightlifting, if you want to join.
That's what it is, ACE period weightlifting. Are any of you in the ACE program at all, or
No.
some of you don't? I see how your head shaking yes over there. What's your name? Okay,
Haley.
Haley. What do you lift here at this school?
I do all of them. I do snatch, clean and jerk, and bench.
Can you compete in all of them the same day, or they split? You can. They don't. There's like restrictions on being too tired or. nothing
No,
like that?
so the way it goes is we start with snatch, and then the one that groups them together is a clean and jerk. So snatch, clean and jerk, and then you
Okay.
bench press. So your Olympic total snatch and clean and jerk, and then traditional clean and jerk, and then bench press.
Okay, gotcha.
So you could have essentially, you could put two girls in each weight class, but you could essentially have four if you had two in Olympic and two in traditional.
How many weight classes are in
10.
high school? 10. Okay, so I think wrestling has about 13, so they're here, 13. So not
Yeah.
almost the same split there.
And I know you've got to go out there in a little bit, but what's the value to you as the AD of the weight room at this school currently?
Well, obviously for sports, I mean, it's, our goal is to build a premier strength and conditioning facility here. So we're not done. So this project is probably 2 to 3 years, hopefully by the time we finally get to where we need to be. But it's going to benefit all of our athletes. So our cross country team and our swim team who wants to get dry land work, like we will have bikes and rowers and stuff in here for them to do eventually. But in order to get competitive, obviously you got to build some strength up, and it doesn't matter the sport you're in. So whether you're endurance or you're a strength sport, it helps to prevent injuries, and it helps in everyday life. You know, Coach Rowe and I have talked a lot. He's big on the mental health thing, and you know, the weight room. He's seen how it's changed some of our students, just regular students that are coming here, mental health wise. They come in here, they're having a bad day, they've had a bad week. They start working out, they feel better, they lean up, they start feeling more positive about themselves. So we've seen a lot of benefits there. But yeah, it's, you know, for the girls, it kind of stunk because this took place right in the middle of their season.
Oh.
So we trained for about 2 months outside the basketball courts. So considering that we still had girls that were state qualifiers, it was awesome.
What did you see the change of the athletes here from the weight room prior to walking into what it currently is today?
I think this gives them something more they can put more pride into.
Glad you used that word.
They see that us as a school, even the district and the community cared about the athletes here. So they came in and, you know, they could see what we're doing here, that it's definitely a change and a positive. I mean, we've added 1,600 square feet to our weight room. So now we could have the 8th period class that they talked about had 60 people in it in this one little room. Now that we've extended it, there's room. So, and that 8th period that we talked about is primarily just a girls only class. So next year will be 100% female class only. So ideally that we're trying to push our athletes in there, our female athletes, so they can get that extra training.
So you've got a lot going on here. You've done a lot of time here yourself, but you also talked about some of the sponsors that and where they fit in and being part of this redo.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
We had, and I can't list them all off the top of my head.
That's all right. That's all right.
But
they're going to be posted in here,
yes,
right?
yeah. So we had a handful of them that came to our ribbon cutting last week. About $28,000 from the community, from our booster club and from athletics was raised to go into this, and paid for about half of it. So the Mrs. Fusco and the district came up with funds to help with on the other side of it. Obviously, the project I want to say is about just shy of 150,000. So really, it isn't much for what we've done here. We have some other things that are going in from a former soccer coach, Bill Callen's doing some artwork, metal work that's going to go up. Other than that, like the money that we had SAC the other day, have agreed to buy us some new benches. So we're going to have.
What did it feel like to have the community come together on a project?
It was awesome because I mean, it just
doesn't happen very often.
No, but it helps. I mean,
but it's a good start.
It wasn't hard, and you know, just asked the right people, and you know, they came through. So
well, now you know we can do it.
Absolutely.
Just like the athletes are learning, so is the community.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think what's happening is we're getting, and you've been around long enough, we're getting another shift of parents that are coming through, and a lot of the people that helped out with the funds were their kids are new to Northport High School, so freshmen, junior, or sophomores, you know, so
matters.
Had some graduates, parents, so most of them were parents that kids either attended here or are in school now. So it was.
I think it's going to be fun to see the alumni come back and walk into what they thought was the weight room.
Oh, I can't wait because it's when we have our first alumni event, we come down here and tour the weight room.
Yeah, and at the end of the show, I'm going to sneak you into the varsity locker room now, which is not the traditional Northport locker room anymore. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Oh, Coach Will, thank you very much. Great job.
Thanks, buddy.
Great, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
So let's talk about that ladies for a minute. So what did your parents think of that when you said, I want to go lift Olympic and standard way back when you were a freshman? What did you, they were all on board or like, oh God, please don't.
Yeah.
They're like, for you all bulky.
Yeah.
No, that's always because that's my old generation's thinking. We don't, it took a while for this next generation to realize it doesn't matter what sport, like Coach says, you can benefit from weightlifting. The great thing about your weightlifting is it goes with the rest of your life, right?
Yes,
So, you know, all the sports, we all fall apart, but weightlifting, you really got to keep it going. Especially, look at me, look how skinny my little old man arms are. I want to work out. This gym makes me want to work out. So Were your parents okay with you jumping in, or are they a little?
Well, my mom was scared at first. She still is.
Is
Just
she?
not as much. But they support me.
Good. You get enough nutrition. They probably work about nutrition too. You fall asleep in class or no? You eating okay? You doing all right? Yeah. I wasn't sure.
You have to.
Yes.
Does this school have any kind of like a nutritionist? Have you thought about doing that? Like one nutritionist for the whole thing? No, you're on your own pretty much. So whatever
Yeah.
coach says you're eating.
Yeah.
Do you count your protein grams and all that? Are you doing that kind of stuff? Or you just whatever you feel?
Well,
Depends if you
is that,
kind of
you're, but you're not weight control.
No.
You're lifting. I mean,
Yeah.
you're
I
neither,
think they're. Do you have weight classes?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you lift by class though.
Yes, I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
So you're not really trying to cut weight to make a class, right?
I
Unless
mean,
you have to.
Let's-
unless yes,
Unless
you
you
have
want.
to.
Unless
Okay.
you want
Yes.
to.
It's a want, not a
Yeah,
need.
it's
Okay, I
more-
like that because the wrestler's like, I have to cut. I gotta sweat it off. So how about balancing all the weightlifting with your social life, your academics? How's that?
That is my social life.
Oh, look at
Me
that. That's fantastic. Are you all which one's a senior here? You're a senior? Okay. Are you gonna move on to academics or work or military? Have you thought about it yet?
Looking at a college on
Yeah.
Thursday actually for lifting in North Carolina.
Good
Oh,
for
wow.
you.
Good.
All right.
Good.
If you can't see it, you got a state. Show that state
Oh.
there. That's awesome. So you're gonna go up there and
Yeah.
Oh.
Hopefully like it.
I didn't know down here in Florida they have varsity programs at the college level. I have no idea. So yeah, I think I
No.
gotta say, well, good. That's a great opportunity. And you're what grade are you in?
Junior.
Junior. I'm assuming you're gonna do it again next year.
Yes.
All right. And what did you lift at the state level?
Like what I lifted.
Like no, like did you Olympic or stand?
Oh yeah, I lifted for Olympic and traditional.
Oh, you did both.
Yeah.
Wow. So on a day like that, how do you mindset get ready for having to do all that lifting?
You have to have a good mindset for it because it's very hard to if you get in your mind about it and then you don't get the lift and then you'll be upset for the whole rest of the day because you got to really if you have to have a good positive mindset.
Well, do you have to lift? Is it best of three kind of lifts? Is that what
Yes.
they do?
It's
So you had to do
it's-
9 lifts,
yes,
or no? You had to do how many? 6 total, or I'm getting the math messed up here.
9.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of mass there to move. So let's say you show up at 8 in the morning or whatever. What time do you have to show up for something like that? Usually?
States we showed up at 1 and we left at like 5.
And then
So they move it through pretty fast.
Yeah.
so you don't have a lot of time to recover. Then you really don't.
You
It's-
sit down a lot, but the more you sit down, the worse it gets.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're tied up there.
You'll
for
be
the
all
point.
warmed up and you'll be sitting for like an hour and you're like, oh, do I go leave one back up again?
Hey, are you learning the strategy of should I really go for this first time or wait till the second time? Like, how's that?
You know, you really never learn that. I
No.
realized.
Yeah.
No.
Just whatever you feel your body can do, you try it.
How about injuries and all that? Either during season or during the big meets
I
there.
feel like that's more you.
You get injured?
Me?
You doing okay on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you just gotta make sure you don't hurt yourself before a meet or whatever, you know.
All right. Well, John,
So is it push to the point of break and not break, but push to that point, try to stay aggressive, but
Yes.
but not really over aggressive?
I mean, you would like to get like your highest lift you can get,
Yeah.
so you're, you know, so,
So you're always pushing
yes,
the kind of the envelope, right?
yes,
As you push that envelope, I'm huge on paying attention to my body.
Mhm.
Are you guys working on figuring that out too as you lift and practice?
yes. Let's see what your body can do and all that, and
Yeah.
just go to your max that you can.
And
do.
that kind of helps control some of the injuries too, doesn't
It
it?
does, yeah.
You know, because your body kind of triggers, hey, you're
Yeah, I can't
a
do
little
this.
too much here.
Yeah,
You know, so that's a good thing about lifting too, is you're strategizing, but you're also listening to what we all should be promoting was good health, and the part of the good health is paying attention to your body. Whether you're a track, football, basketball player, we're all pushing the envelope, so to speak, when it comes to the sport. Where do you see yourself?
meaning.
Yeah, where do you see yourself next year? What's your challenges that you want to conquer?
I would like to like get a little bit higher. I would probably move up a weight class and try to like hit more and higher weights and everything and bench and clean and jerk and snatch. So
So there is a drive there.
yes.
How do you relate this with school?
I mean, I don't know if you really could relate it with school.
No, I mean, how do you relate it with your school? do you see the school pride? And do you feel that pride when
Yes.
you're lifting?
Yes.
And do you feel that with other athletes and other students?
Yes, you could.
Do you see that change?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this room being changed?
Changes. Yes.
There's a little different fire coming out of here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I could tell. How do you feel about it?
I think this room is just, it's so open and spacious, so you can do what you can, and you don't have to worry about if people are too close to you or if people are watching you, because they're in their own space and they're talking amongst themselves. So you aren't worried like, oh my, I can't fail this lift. They'll make fun of me.
Mm.
You're just, I'll get this
Like
lift.
you're in that age group, they so worry about
Yeah.
people think about this.
No.
We our age, we don't care what people think. We drop things, whatever.
We drop them all the time.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
great point, because there are people out there like yourselves who have never lifted and think, should I, could I?
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
I think that if you set your mind to something, you will eventually hit it. You just can't work your body too hard. You need to actually put in enough work to the point where you won't break, but you will get to that point.
Anything you want to add?
If you put, you always got to put your mind to everything. I mean, if you don't put your mind to it, you're never gonna succeed.
How about the senior back there?
I definitely say if you're looking into working out, just do it because it's only going to benefit you. It doesn't matter what people think about it. It's only going to benefit you and how you see yourself.
I got one more question for you, and I'll let you all take a turn at it. When you fail in this room, do they support you to get back up? Or do they make fun of you?
Definitely. No, no one makes fun of you. If you
See, that's the difference of a gym
yeah,
and a work ethic in a gym, because that happens at every gym all over the country.
yeah. You can
Is-
see it when you
go ahead.
fail. Like you have all about a whole team is very supportive. They all are like, "Oh, hey, let's do it again." And then everyone's screaming at you. And you're just like, it helps you bring it up. It
Yeah.
brings yourself to want to get it more.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I agree totally. Everyone's very supportive, and if you don't have that support, you're really, it's not, it doesn't help as much as you have that support.
I want to follow up on this question here, guys. So say next year's team, how many people are allowed to be on the team? Like, if let's say I'm really shy and nervous, don't want to, can I still come out and lift with you guys? Is there limitations on
We
it?
don't really have a limit on our team
Yeah.
because we have in like the districts, regionals, and states, we only allow 2 athletes in per weight class.
Okay.
But normal meets and stuff like that, we are allowed to have expedition lifters in every weight class. So we can basically have as many people lifting as you would.
So if I'm a freshman young lady from the middle school, I want to weigh, I'm really
Yeah.
scared. You can still come out, and
Yeah.
they're gonna cut you.
Yeah, no, you don't really get cut in this sport.
You got to earn your way to the.
Yeah.
rounds there. That's
It definitely
fantastic.
takes time.
That's fantastic. I mean, sign me up, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm jealous of you, ladies.
Ready to
Well,
go.
before we let them go, ladies, I got some honors here. Your team was top 5 in the district. Your team was top 10 in the region. Your team was top 20 in the state, I believe. That's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. We got Lily at 13th, Michaela at 8th, Caitlin 7th and 9th. We got another Caitlin at 4th. That's amazing results there. And I saw in the Charlotte, the Sun Preps, this whole area brought 30-something lifters to the state. So this has to be one of the biggest areas of girls weightlifting.
The biggest. Florida is the only state that does it in high school.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
didn't know that. Oh,
So,
but
like-
for you to come out of this region, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting you on the show all season long. Get on the coaches next year. I want to get them on earlier. So we want to get them before you start your season so we can really hype up. So I want to thank you all again. Okay, so we got Lily, maybe going to college for lifting,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe going to
And
college.
what's we got? McKaylee, and then there's Haley in the back here. Ladies, thank you so much. We are so proud of you. Anytime you make the States, you're always welcome to be on our show. Always. That's an open invitation. So.
Awesome. Good
Great job. All
Good
right.
job.
Thank you, ladies.
Good job.
While we're ready for Mr. Ryan,
Nice
I
job.
think John might want to show the weight room. You want to show
Yeah.
it now? We're waiting.
Slide through.
I'll get John up here in a minute here.
So it's amazing to have all this and be part of it. But they're going to have sponsors up on this wall up here. They've got everything anchored to the ground. So there's safety factors. They've got the belts. They're going to hang the belts over here. I was walking through with Tony earlier. They've done a great job getting everything updated and ready to go. You know, it's a huge difference because I'm now standing in the middle of a room that was not wide open, was just a bunch of equipment, antiquated or not. It was what we were utilizing to compete with other schools. Right now, we are probably on the verge of actually having a weight room that represents what everybody else has had. And that is the most amazing part. So I'm going to slide in through while these guys are setting up and show you the inside of the other side of the weight room. They've got everything working out and mounted. They're still going to repaint some of the white exercise equipment that's in here. You can see the caution tape that because they're still anchoring things to the floor as we speak, even though they had the opening. But, you know, we finally got Northport to the 21st century. So I'm going to slide over for our last guest and
All right.
have you guys talk.
All right, guys, I want to invite a special guest on here. This is Mr. John Ryan. Coach, how you doing?
Good to see you.
I know John for many years now through science teaching.
Correct.
I'm assuming you're still science teaching.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I they promoted you in the weight room or something. He is our head coach of our boys weightlifting team. John, when did you start that position? I don't remember you being head. I know you were assistants for a while.
Actually, I came back from a prior stint at another school, and I was at Northport previous to that. So this is my third year
Oh, okay.
back from another school in the
Sweet.
county, and I took the head job my first year, along with Matt Pryor, who's a longtime coach and teacher here. So what we've come up with
Have you
is,
been head coach all 3 years?
no, what we've
Okay.
done is we kind of switch it off every
Gotcha.
year. So we're both involved for the last 3 years, and that hasn't changed. He's busy, does the online teaching. He's got like most teachers, a little side gig going on
Sure.
that is doing pretty well. So his
he's-
time constraints. So
He's a true friend of the program because his shirt company does a lot with Newport High School.
it
Quite a bit. The I forgot the name of his company. It does a lot for helping out with our program here.
Yeah, and he's gonna try to make it tonight, but he had some other obligations. His daughter's doing the beach volleyball here for the school also.
Sweet.
But everything that I wear, everything that is made by him.
Oh,
This was even done like years ago. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
so
I remember the old claw football thing there. Check that out.
he was our main sponsor last year, so he did all the prints for all the singlets and all the shirts.
Okay.
So he probably didn't make any money coaching last year, but that's the kind of guy that he is. So
That's fantastic.
he's obviously.
Matt's been doing that a long time.
Oh yeah, he's Northport for sure. Yeah,
So what do you think? It was our first time in here. John's been showing it off a little bit, and
it's
it's got that nice gym smell. The new rubber.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like teenage boys yet.
It's really much nicer than I had expected. I mean, it really is. What amazing what opening up a little bit and a coat of paint will do. But the new equipment really just gives way more room, way more spacious. I mean, I don't know. You can't remember really how bad it was before.
Oh, I do.
But I know as a coach, when you have 40 guys in here, you're weaving in and out of bars that are constantly
It was
moving.
on the verge of unsafe.
It-
On the verge.
You had to be on your toes,
Yes, you did.
coaching and as players, no doubt about it. And a lot of the platforms where you're standing were, like anything else at one time, fabulous, but fast forward 15 years and they're just breaking down, and it was getting to a point where something had to be done, and this was a big step. for
That's a
sure.
huge improvement. Huge.
I mean, look at the space here. Even when their kids are in here, it's safe. There's plenty of room for each kid to work out and have their own space. And that really makes it much nicer on everybody. It brings the stress level down for the coaches, the kids. It's just a nicer environment.
Stay on the safety factor for a second, because I think that any parent that's out there, that's their first concern when their kid comes home and says, I want to go to weightlifting. And the parents are like, that, because a lot of parents don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
So do you want to kind of educate the public here a little bit on the importance of weightlifting at young ages?
Well, at young ages for sure, but jumping to the high school even, a lot of our kids are freshmen or sophomores, so they don't have a huge background in weight training anyway.
Right.
I have kids that were swimmers and still are swimmers. Tennis, believe it or not, and they're good weightlifters also. So football, of course, is a big one. You always hear about that. And we have a few that are strictly just weightlifting themselves. But everything that they do nowadays, I suppose when I first started doing it, it's a lot more dynamic moves. It's not all about pushing the maximum amount of weight. There's a lot more science behind it. It's a lot more movement, which is good for just about any sport. And we break it down even by what sport you do, what's your main sport. The workouts will be tailored to help you do that. So the guys' baseball team is not doing what the football team's doing.
So
And
would you say when you're doing all these things now, because of the changes and the improvements, do you think it, because of how they are looking at things and how the athletes are being taught, it lessens injury possibilities?
There's no doubt. And you have to work hand in hand with the coaches during the day also. So a lot of these kids are working out. They'll have a class period, first period, second period working out. Well, as a coach bringing these kids after school, I got to be aware of what they've already done during the day.
Like no overuse.
So you don't overuse, because obviously, especially the boys, the girls are much better at following, the script. When you say 75% of your max, 80%, and you look over at the guys and they got 110% of their max on.
Right.
I mean, that's a battle. But knowing what they did before, and you have to alter, work together with the football coaches to alter what they do. So they don't overdo it. That's really the biggest thing. So a lot of times less is more, especially with the Olympic lifting. A lot of it is technique. I mean, the strength.
Well, your body's also going to tell you less is more too.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough early on to have some really good influence that taught me a lot as far as the technique goes, because there is a lot of technique in that. And actually, one of our guys from last year comes every Tuesday, Thursday. Gio Castro Pretty, let's call him Gio. And he actually comes every Tuesday, Thursday, and he's one of the big ones that are running up a lot of these workouts. He's still doing the Olympic lifting in college at USF now, doing
Nice.
great.
Oh, nice.
But
Good.
he's a big part.
So
of
hang on, let's talk
what
about that.
we're
So
doing
when he
also.
comes down, do the kids listen to him because he is lifting at college?
He was our
I know that name.
chosen captain last year. So the kids all looked up to him. Half of my roster sophomore. So last year he was the senior. He was the big stud. And so he was the leader. And he's kept in contact with them the whole time. You know how these kids have on the stream there. So when I need something done, a lot of times I'll text him and say, hey, make sure these guys know, what's going on.
Right.
So yeah, they definitely listen to him. He sends me the workouts every week, and I'll tailor those based on.
Is he going to sports medicine or something at USF?
He said he's going to do physical therapy.
Okay, there you go. Good
So,
tie-in. Great.
yeah.
Put it on his resume. Give him some hours there, coach.
He's still,
Yeah.
doing the competitions himself up there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's still, that's still, I think, his
Does
love.
USF have a varsity? We just found out the young lady here is going to go to North
I don't
Carolina.
know if it's
Maybe.
USF related or if it's outside.
Oh, like a
that.
city, like a club
Yeah.
division. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So let's stick with Gio for a second, because we talked about this earlier, Sean, that what's it going to be like to have alumni come back? And you've got one, but what did he see about this room that changed his opinion too?
Well, he was here for 4 years, lived it for 4 years, and obviously he loves it. He thought it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And of course he's only.
Is there a little
4
different
years.
fire in his belly when he walked in the door?
Yeah, it does give you a sense of pride, especially if he's coming back here. Like it's something that he feels he wants to even build the program into something spectacular. I mean, that's his vision, and as a young kid, it really is. As an old guy like me, I have to kind of curtail, some experience
Right.
with some of that.
He wants 100 lifters tomorrow.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I
I'm like,
feel it.
we got to make sure the paperwork's in, the physicals are in, But he does a really good job for us. But yeah, I think that's what Northport finally has, that generation coming back as our head football coach is the best example
Right.
They're invested in Northport as opposed to, I went to school in Venice,
Right.
And so there's people now here ties to Northport, and that's going to make all the difference. And that's just time. There's nothing else. You can't speed that up as much
You
as you'd
can't,
like
but
to.
we all tried to.
Oh yeah, and we're still trying to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's you could take pride in it. You walk in here and you can show it off, and it's
Sure enough.
looking at a lot of the other schools, it's
John, did the team you have now, were they trying out when they knew it was going to come this way? Like, oh, I better join the team because it's going to get better, or was it like a surprise?
no, it was a surprise.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
they knew it was coming, but I don't think they were ready for how spacious it was, and the new equipment was like, it was the rumor mill. Well, we're gonna get some new equipment. No, they're gonna put the old equipment back in. And it's still a process. I think we're looking at least another year and a half because to get more money and to add more things to it. But the kids that are on the team now, especially the juniors and sophomores, they're gonna see this.
Did you have like a wave of kids want to join the team real fast? Did you say yes or no to them? That's the
Well, I have
Yeah.
I have several kids, a lot of kids that were interested in it, which is good. Not all can travel, not all can do the meets, but they still show up. I put them on a little different workout, like we said before. Some of these kids don't have the core strength yet. So before you start doing a lot of the technique stuff, they still need to do the basics,
But you let them come out,
bench
let
press.
them go lift the team.
Of
That's
course. I
fantastic.
got at least 5 or 6 of them, my son included, who's a freshman also. I have him come out and start working out. He's a basketball player, but still
That's
the
right,
weights
yeah.
is what he, to need to help you get a little more.
They're separate up in the arms there.
That's right. That's right.
How big is your team right now? How many divisions do you have? I mean, that kind of thing. Also, viewers how that works.
We have, well, let me,
Oh, got it right.
we have, you can have 20 people. There's 2 to each weight class. Our first meet of the year, we had 17. So we had 2 you can have 2 in each weight class. So we had 2 for pretty much all of them. We only had 1 in 119. That's the hardest weight class to find someone.
Yeah.
They can find someone who weighs less than 119 and wants to lift weights. It's almost like an oxymoron. If you're
Yeah.
119,
Is that like
you're not
bantam
lifting-
weight or something? I
So
forgot
that
it's
was,
called.
that was one of our swimmers.
Do we have a weight that's less than 119? No, I'm just
Yeah,
teasing.
so we've got a freshman and usually the 119s, they are freshmen, sophomores, because as they get older, they're not 119 anymore.
Right.
So that's always pretty tough. 129, we didn't field anybody, so that hurts when you go to the meets because you're getting no points.
Right.
If you can just put a body in there, you'll get points, even if you
Right.
come in
Oh,
third
really?
or fourth. So that's kind of
Bench press 5 pounds, you got a point?
yeah, you can
Really? Oh,
definitely.
okay.
The way it breaks down. So for overall team points, just having a full team would be pretty incredible.
So this is a individualized team sport,
It is.
sort of like wrestling too, but when you go to team matches.
It's going to be in the sense that it's individual, the team camaraderie part, yes, but different than wrestling because the other team is cheering you on just as much as
That is
the
different.
team, which is way different. than
Way
wrestling.
different.
So, yeah, that's what a lot of kids are intimidated because they know they're not as strong as like the other guy. They see the guy benching 300 pounds. It's really quick that they realize like this is completely different atmosphere. And as a longtime football coach, it's really neat to see. And it is the same people that are doing the football, how different the atmosphere is inside. They're cheering each other on. They're watching. They're all kind of high-fiving after. And good job if they get their personal best. It's pretty neat. And the younger guys, right away now, they forget about how much they can't or can lift, and they enjoy it.
Like we've got some power lifters in our community that were graduates from here and you just reminded me of why I enjoyed going to their weight matches or weightlifting matches because Darlene Wilson, Josh Wilson is an ex-wrestler from here who is a power lifter, who is a trainer up in Sarasota, does a great job. You've got all kinds of things that happen within an event like that, non-school related. You're talking school related and a camaraderie of a room that has to come together at an event that breeds camaraderie. It's crazy, isn't it?
From all the schools. Like the first meet we had was the Charlotte Invitational, and Charlotte, for those that don't know, have one of the best programs around for the last 10 years. they always bring a lot of guys to the state championship. But there was 7 or 8 teams that were there. And again, they're all, they're not rooting against anybody. Of course, the ones that are close to winning, you're going to see what he does and try to beat him out, but they're not rooting for that guy not to make it. They're like, all right, here we go. We got to get this lift. It is a neat atmosphere. It has changed a little bit now because now they have another dynamic. So now there's 3 lifts you can do as opposed to before just the 1 powerlifting and 1 Olympic. Now there's 2 Olympic,
Snatch.
1 power. And so as a coach, you can kind of juggle. This guy's pretty good at, the bench, and this guy's a little better at the Olympic, not a very good bench. So there's some things
Jockey
you
in
can
the-
plug and play.
There you go.
And
It's
you
kind of
start
cool.
learning what the other team can do as far as strategy goes. When you start seeing some of their results, you can kind of figure out by next meet, okay, you're going to do this or do that. So
Coach, is this room ready for competitions? I don't, I forgot if you had competitions here or not.
this would be fine for like a dual meet.
So you can host a dual meet.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
hosting it this year?
We did one last year, even in the old one, and it was tight, and you have people trying to come in here. We don't have, the schedule's already set up, so we're not gonna have one this year in here. With Tony, the hope is to one day bring the teams in, but you're probably looking at platforms and in the gym and setting things up in the gym.
It's tough,
probably
because
the way to
even in public, when they set it up, it's a hard venue to set up. You got to have a great location.
Great location, you got
Lot space.
space, manpower.
Yeah.
Volunteers,
Yeah.
like everything else,
Yep.
which is, again, it's the kids, it's all
And
for them, and they.
Jordan Wong does the same thing. And Jordan Wong, he's a graduate of Northport, and Jordan Wong is a power lifter extraordinaire too, here locally in Northport, and travels and does it and trains people and does a phenomenal job. But you can see from his commitment level when you talk to even the girls team and you listen to you as a coach, you can see the pride within each lift, the build, the athletes that you're seeing grow.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that's why you do it. I mean, I look at Coach Pryor, I've been doing this a while, and you can be like, oh man, this is a long day, it's a long day, but we're there. And about every lift you see, it's okay, I got this kid, I got this kid. Like, you're in there, you're cheering them on, you're again, they hit that personal best, and it makes you feel good, makes them feel good. And of course,
Right.
as a coach, you're like, okay, on to the next lift. Don't get too excited. Here's what we got to do the next lift. You can
You got
never
40,
enjoy it as a
20,
coach, but the kids have a yeah, they can enjoy it for about 30 seconds, and you got to move on.
That's
But,
fantastic.
John, when do they do their practices after school? The girls they said 8th period was for them, kind of. Do they?
Yeah, so
Flexible.
it's flexible again because again a lot of this stuff you're it's not like your football, baseball, basketball where that's like your main sport. A lot of this stuff is like a secondary sport. I got some guys again that are track, so there's a track meet today.
Can they do both track and come in here to win the
They
thing?
can, yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
so-
they lets them do dual sports in
Yeah.
the season. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So that part of it's pretty good, but again, you have to be flexible as a coach, and that's one good thing that Coach Miller, he likes to see multiple
Good.
sports, a kid with multiple letters. Like when we were in school, you can letter in 3 sports. Now it's year round. These coaches, it's like year round. There's no time. So a lot of my guys do it first period. There are a lot of football guys, and again, they come after school. And again, we alter what they do. The guys that don't have it during the day, they're going to be doing a lot more after
Gotcha.
school.
Right.
So it works out pretty well. And then Tuesday, Thursday, on a normal week, we had off yesterday. Gio will come in, and we work a lot of the snatch and the clean and jerk while he's here because he knows more than I do. And
Well, it's nice to have that alumni come back and do it
I'd
too.
like to, I sit next to him and I hear a few things. I'm like, okay, I got it. And
Would
then
he
share
be
it
one
with
to-
the next guy?
Can we get him on a Tuesday show? What time does he head on out of here?
He would be willing to do it.
Stay till 6 o'clock. Gio, if you're
I would-
listening,
I
we're
would-
gonna need you
I would
to.
assume he'd be willing to do it.
Yeah, we'd love to do that, even if we had to do it remote. I could send him a link and he can do his iPhone
That's it.
or his cell phone, and we can get him on the show. No
He
problem.
deserves it. He's doing that much for you guys.
Yeah, he is, and he's a neat
Good.
kid.
Love to promote it anyway, because to see, and we talk about this all the time, Sean,
Mm.
that the fact that we are getting alumni coming back, we need to highlight them to show that love of the program and the school and the pride that's there. So
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about building anyway.
He would do it. And again, he's a guy that, again, he's driving from Tampa to here, have these guys work out for an hour and a half, and then
Going back.
go back home for his 8 o'clock class, and that's what he's doing. He didn't come today because he's trying to alter it so he can be here for the meet on Thursday that we have.
Let's talk about the meets real quick, Coach. Have you already had a couple meets, you said?
We had one meet.
Okay, so you're still pretty new to your season.
Yeah, we've all,
Okay.
and again, when the official first day that you're allowed to lift, we didn't have a weight room to use. Our
so you're
guys,
outside in the sun.
haven't lifted in, 4 or 5 months. The weight room was just under construction.
man.
So we really had about a week and a half of training before the first meet. So talk about apprehension for the kids because they know they're not ready. And I said, that's when you got to back it up. You're not going to do what you did last year. You're going to go here. You get the meet. I think they surprised themselves about how well they did. Now they're doing stuff, body weight stuff and the core
Sure.
stuff, and they're training every day, but not
Not the same.
not the same at all. So it was nice that we had that first meet, and then I try to postpone as much as I can. And really, it's only like 20 workout days in between till the next one.
So something you said too, though, is that, there's something to be said about teaching technique
It's,
because that kind of had to help right then and there at that first meet.
especially with our guys, again, half our team is freshmen and sophomores. I mean, the strength of our team, the core of it are sophomores, which is really kind of neat. And I think that's why even Gio's excited because he knows in 2 years.
It's going to be a beast.
Yeah, they are. There's going to be no ifs, ands.
That's how you build a program, though.
That's exactly how you do it. And these kids that are some of the ones I'm thinking of, yes, they play other sports, but I don't think they really put weightlifting as a second. I think it's equal.
Yeah.
Nice. And there's some good ones. And some of those were working out, even though this was under construction. They had means somewhere else. They were working out because they take it seriously.
Your meets overall, how many roughly do you have in a season? Give or take.
Well,
Before you get to districts and playoffs and all the regionals.
Four meets is usually
4 meets.
yeah. So not a lot. We had 5 last year. 6 would be pushing it because again, the kids like it.
But health wise, safety wise, you're really maxing out each time.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, we're building into the district to the regional. That's when we want to do our best. Doing one every week, it kind of throws off your ability.
And I was asking this, John, because as a parent, I'll be worried about time commitments. So that's not too bad a season right there.
Yeah, and really in some of the younger ones, like I said, they're sophomores. And freshmen. So a lot of them will ride with some of the older guys. I take the van, Coach Pryor take the van. I took 5 or 6 kids home at the last meet, the same thing. So as far as commitment parents goes, that's pretty well taken care of too, for the most part. So we try to do what we can to,
So no excuse.
less burden on the parents.
So grade wise, I can't blame the weightlifting because you're not up till midnight traveling from Palm Harbor back or something crazy.
No,
like
it's
that.
not.
So-
Like the Charlotte meet was long. There's no doubt about it. We didn't get back until I didn't get home and I dropped some of the kids off. It was probably 10:30 at night. So that was a rough one. The next real big one is on a Saturday. So it'll be Saturday morning.
perfect.
It'll last till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But the guys, they get the medals and all that stuff. So the kids like those big ones. So I try to put a couple of those in there because that's the ones that make them feel good and they get to wear a little hardware and feel good about themselves.
Well, it's something about winning an award, too. Makes you go to work the next
It
day.
doesn't matter if it's first place or 4th place, they're wearing it to school the next day.
That's right.
Everyone knows the
That's
difference,
right.
so they
That's
like
right.
it. Absolutely.
Do you guys get like a team? I know the girls, Tony's telling me the top 5 districts, top 10 regional, things like that. Is that, you get,
Yeah,
is it,
yeah.
Other meets you get something like that?
The meets are set up that, yes, it's individual, but then there's a point system and then,
sure.
so, yeah. So, the last meet, there were 7 teams. We placed, our best was 4th overall.
That's good.
Which is pretty
That's
good
fantastic.
considering again,
Had nothing in the weight room.
and no weight room and again,
Young
half of
team.
them are sophomores.
Of course.
Of course, we had a few really good lifters, so they took some first place.
Who should we highlight here? What would you like to see lifting wise? Any names out there? I know it's early season.
Well, our best lifter by far who won the heavyweight division was Osaya Maldonado.
Oh, okay.
So his total for, I just wanted to make sure I got this right. His total for bench press and the clean and jerk was 665 pounds. So he came in first.
What grade is he in?
He's gonna be a senior, but he went to the state meet last year. He was our lone guy that went to state last year. So we're counting on him again to go. We had another guy, Charles Pingree, who was about 10 pounds off from the Olympic stuff last year. And he was a story too, played football, but never did the weight freshman, sophomore. So this year, I think he's got a really good shot, and some of our younger guys to possibly make the state. I mean, certainly the district, certainly the regional. That's what I want my younger guys to do. So yeah, we're looking like we'll have some more guys in there. And that's the key.
You know, John, I'm sure you've seen our show. We've been bragging about the winter sports being so up there this year. We got to get you guys up there too.
Well, yeah, and really the
good to
girls,
hear
the
that.
girls program, we're not there yet. The girls have a great program, and they do a heck of a job. They're consistent. They're here every time I come in here. Even when this thing was kind of getting built, I'd have a few of my main lifters in here, and the girls were there doing their thing, doing the workout that was up on the board, not skipping anything. So,
That camaraderie is a big thing though, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And I think even now, again, they're feeling good about they're on the weightlifting team,
Yeah.
and they're talking about I'm on the weightlifting team as opposed to I'm just lifting weights for football. And
That's a nice turn in the
that's already
conversation. I like
changed.
that. That's
So
good.
that's again, and I think they know where they're at as sophomores. They can see I'm going to be able to get there. You can see it in their mind. They believe that they're going to be that guy. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're also a teacher on campus. You're one of our science teachers. You've been here for a while. So how's it help the program, you being here?
Well,
For not just for you as a coach, but like the players know they can come to you if they need anything. And
I think it's
are they good kids though? They don't no referrals. It's like-
no referrals.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
After this, the teachers will be emailing that. I'm a coach. That's usually how it goes.
Right.
Once they find that out. So now there's no referrals. It just gets thrown to coach.
But that's a good thing though. I'd rather work it out with the coaches than punitively throw them in the administration. And let them,
Absolutely.
you can actually,
Absolutely.
there's a teaching moment there. You can actually work them on there. So
That's one of the parts. The best part about teaching is when you're doing the coaching. That's what I've always wanted to do. You get to know the kids on a different level. They know you on a different level. If you're staying up till 10 o'clock driving them home, they know you care about them. So you can get them to listen. They want to perform. They want to do what you tell them. They want to impress you as a coach.
They don't want to let you down.
So yeah, it definitely helps. You have to be on campus, and it's hard. But we have coaches coming from off campus. It's just different. Like you said, the kids, they need to know that there's someone here looking after them. And I think it
100%.
kind of keeps them in line a little bit too.
Yep.
They are teenagers after all. So
we'll wrap it up here a little bit here. 2 questions. Do you have anybody doing shot put this year
I don't know who's doing the shot put this
from your
year.
weightlifting team?
Hunter Brewer is doing the shot, but I don't know how he's another sophomore.
Does he lift for you?
He's lifting this year. He didn't lift last year, so he's new. He's trying to break. I want to be one of the top 2, so he's not quite there yet. So we'll see.
And what would you say to the camera for people, all the parents out there? Because I always nervous about weightlifting. What would you say to bring them into our program besides the awesome facilities?
Well, I'd say it's well structured for one. There's plenty of room. There's 5 or 6 coaches in here after school. It's not just me in here. And everyone's put at a level where they're going to be successful at. My new guys kind of lift, with them. They're not just thrown out there and here you go and lift that. And again, there's constant supervision. If you should have no apprehension at all. In fact,
And
the kids that come in here, they enjoy it. I have kids that lift that aren't on a lifting team. A few of them were last year because they wanted to get bulkier for basketball. They still come in, even though they're not technically part of the team, and I'm okay with that. I mean, they're great kids, and this is for the student body.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be because, I don't want to compete. You may be a little nervous. You can still get in here and work out, and it makes them feel good. And,
So
they get a little pump and they feel good about themselves, and that helps too.
I kind of want to clean something up before we end. Is that we had a tight room before, and I talked about the safety side of it. But safety's always been a focus of all the coaches here. And it just makes it easier now that we don't have to battle space. Is that accurate?
It's a huge difference.
Right.
It's a huge difference. Even, a minor injury, a finger getting pinched or this or that. I mean, it could have been a lot worse before. There was just so much going on. We probably dodged a few bullets, quite honestly, in the years past. It was not the best environment, again, because there's just not enough space. There's nothing you can do. And when they opened this up, you just doubled your space.
Right.
Same amount of kids, doubled the space. I mean, right there is pretty
Changed.
big.
It's a
Yeah.
game changer.
And as you can see the racks down here, you have a room here. Before you would put the old gym, you couldn't put the weight on the bar because this guy's lifting. You have to kind of go around him and adjust. And then imagine that times 40 kids.
Right.
I mean, it was loud. It was a lot of stress, I think, that people didn't even realize were there.
And does that take the stress off the kids now that this is like it is?
Yeah, and they love it. I mean, if you look around, you say, hey, make sure you pick up your stuff, put everything back.
Well, it's a clean room.
Before, it's stuff laying all around because there probably wasn't really pride in that.
Well, no pride and no place.
And that was the other thing. Where are you going to put everything? So
Right.
that's also a big part of it too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, John, I'm done with,
Yeah.
two Johns here. Like, John, I'm
Yeah.
done with this John here. So, John, I'll
But
take-
great job. We want to have you back on though.
You guys see the locker room in there?
You want to give us a tour?
Yeah.
Come on, let's do
Because
it.
this is, again, this was the main room. This one used to be the locker room I'm about to show you. So this room used to be the football varsity locker room. So this place is huge. I didn't know it was this big because when the varsity locker room, it didn't look
It
that
doesn't look it.
So this was not available to us at all. And I don't, Coach Miller probably mentioned.
And when it first
stuff in
opened, it
here.
was the wrestling room.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So now that room is now this room. This used to be the coach's office, which I didn't know the coach's office was this big. That's not go out of danger zone. But this is now the room I just showed you. These were the lockers that were in there. So by putting these lockers in here, all that is now available for the workout. And you can see, we were thinking, wow, it won't be big enough. This area was the other part of the weight room, this small area here. So that big area, this is what was there before.
Right.
So it really was incredible that this room really wasn't utilized because there was not enough supervision. It was kind of an afterthought. Things were just kind of put in here. So yeah, it is a huge, huge difference.
And we've got some metal letters up on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it looks good.
Kind of feels like a real locker room.
It is a real locker room. And then, of course, what's going to help Coach Belser's not going to help me out because he does everything. But you have the equipment room in here. So when you're giving out the pants and the jerseys, you're right here.
Right.
Now, ideally, they want to put like a door. They want to cut that
Sure.
door. But for the fighter safety code, you couldn't do that.
Right.
So that way, you're right here. And also, when people are working out, the kids don't have to walk in and out of the weight room anymore. They're in here as before.
Oh, yeah.
Varsity locker room, they'd have to walk through the weight room to get your jersey or talk to the coach. That's gone now. We're just going to make that a much, again,
Smoother environment.
smoother,
Yeah.
nicer, safer, less stuff going on. So it really is just a good setup overall.
It's fantastic.
Really neat. Really neat.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell with your excitement just on how you're presenting this to everyone out there watching right now.
I even though Northport wasn't here when I was in school, I lived in Northport.
Oh,
I
really?
live in Northport now, my kids my daughter's a senior, my son's a freshman, so this is my town. This is what I want to see succeed, even though I went to Venice and, I'm not one of those that took their kid up there. That's not what I want. That's
Right.
not what, it doesn't need to be that. There's too many good things going on here.
And we both have kids. My boys both went here, Michael and John. And John was in theater and Michael was a wrestler. So he's in the Hall of Fame and did his thing with Mark Temple being the coach then.
You can't have two better programs than the theater here and the wrestling. Those two programs are always good.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
That's neat.
Well,
So-
Coach, I want to thank you for this, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man,
Bring your lifters on here, though. I don't know, it was kind of late for them, but it'd be nice to have them out there.
Yeah, I talked to Gio. He'll probably love to do it.
That'd be fantastic.
So parents, you've seen both the girls and the boys weightlifting. You shouldn't be worried about getting them on the team now.
Yep.
So I wanted to bring
Took the fear out.
took the fear out of it. So I guess it's too late to see to join, but they can still come out and work out.
They come out and work out.
Get some fundamentals
Absolutely.
into
That way they can see that,
and
hey,
you're not going to
Thank
scream
you.
and yell at them. It's a nice, friendly, positive. So,
absolutely.
so I want to thank again. I want to thank all of our lady state wrestlers. I want to thank Coach Bill on our basketball wrap as well. And we're still working on getting beach volleyball and girls and boys tennis, and we'll have goodbyes to our girls and boys soccer team. They also went to regionals. So don't forget Friday. Please come out Friday night, or Friday. 3:30, the Bobcat Relays, track and field, the big home debut for us. And then 7 o'clock, we have the baseball home opener for them as well. And Monday, the 26th, softball and baseball are going to have 2 games at the same time. City of Northport night, they're going to have firemen, police trucks, all that kind of fire trucks, policemen out there tonight. We need you out there as well. So on behalf of everyone involved with Bobcat Blitz, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. On behalf of John Rawlings, we are out here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
I got to walk through because I got to get to my tablet to shut it all down. But thanks for watching in and really do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Put some comments out there if you'd like to see the video. We'll talk to you soon.